morning, everyone. Rise and shine. It is 7:30 in the morning. Whew. Here on Friday the 13th. Oh goodness, Friday the 13th. Well, many of you know I am half European, and in the Netherlands, my mom's country, the number 13 is a lucky number, so I'm going to claim that. I hope everybody else does as well. We have a great show lined up for you this morning, and it's another subject that many do not like to speak about, but it is necessary, and it's homelessness. And I'm going to give you some statistics, okay? These are pretty staggering. In 2024, 771,480 people, or 23 out of every 10,000 residents, experienced homelessness. That's 19.2% of states have a rate that is greater than the United States. And get this, Alabama is one of those states due to having higher rent rates, which contributes to the homelessness issue across the United States. So 9 out of every 10,000 residents in the state of Alabama experience homelessness. Think about that for a minute. That's staggering. In 2024, it was recorded that Alabama, just Alabama, had 4,601 people that did not have a permanent place to live. Then, on any given night, get this, there are about 415 homeless people in our region, according to the 2025 point in time count. Yes, that is right here in Calhoun County area. The point in time count is an annual census, and it's conducted to provide a snapshot of homelessness in our community, and it takes place on a single night in January and includes individuals and families who are staying in emergency shelters, transitional housing, or living unsheltered. So considering the amount statewide, think about that. Our region has a high homelessness rate. And on that note, I want to introduce you to you today our guest, Jessica Smith. She is the Director of Community Engagement from the United Way of East Central Alabama. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you.
And I know you have been on the show before talking about some other programs that we have. We were talking about trafficking, another subject that no one likes to talk about. But today we're going to talk about these statistics and what you have going on to help with that. And I know that Martha's Hope, and I don't know if any of you have heard of that yet, but it's a new homeless shelter.
Yes.
And it's in Anniston.
It is.
It's in Anniston. So tell us about that and how it came to be and where you are now.
Okay, so in 2019, we started the trek to open a homeless shelter here in Anniston. It's been a long journey. So finally, on February the 1st of 2025, we were able to open that homeless shelter, and it's located at 1431 Gurnee. If you know where the First Methodist Church is in Anniston, we purchased the bridge that used to be part of their building. So they got ready to sell that. We were going to build actually right next door to that.
Oh.
But, we started looking at the cost of construction. That was going to be quite a lot.
Yeah.
So the Methodist Church came to us and said, hey, we're getting ready to sell this building. Would y'all like to purchase it? So we were able to purchase the bridge.
Wow.
Yes. So it has been great. We have done some construction downstairs to make that kind of how we need it to retrofit it. And then the next phase coming up in the next year or so, we will work on transitional housing, which will be upstairs, and it'll be more apartment style living.
And I know you gave me some statistics, and you said since you opened February 1st, correct? You opened,
Yes.
that you have already served at least 257 people.
Yes.
Since it's open.
257 unique individuals. So
Yes.
not
and
people
it's
who
only
stayed.
just beginning of June.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes,
that's
it's been a
amazing.
lot. They average about 50 a night.
Oh, wow. Wow. So Martha's Hope, it provides an emergency shelter, but they also provide other things. So what can one person expect to get while they're there?
Yeah, so when they walk in, I'll just kind of give you from start to finish kind of what their process looks like. So when they come in, their goal is they do intake. So we learn a little bit about them, how they become homeless, what they are looking for. Oftentimes when they come in, they may be employed. They may have a job. They're just not making quite enough money to make ends meet and have a house. Or they've never been taught how to rent somewhere, how to continue to pay their rent and continue to pay a power bill. And they became homeless at a young age, and nobody ever taught them those steps.
So life skills.
Life skills. So we learn a lot about them when they come in. They're assigned a bed for the night. If they're there more than 7 consecutive nights, they start receiving case management, which means they're assigned an empowerment coach who is going to walk alongside them to figure out, is there mental health issues that we need to, work on. We have somebody on staff who can work on that. Is it substance misuse that we need to work on? How can we get you to the next step to better you?
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot. Our staff over there is fantastic and always busy.
So, because a lot of people don't realize things that we take for granted again, and we talk about that all the time on this show about how we take things for granted every day. But the life skills, like if somebody becomes, like you said, they become homeless at a young age, they never were taught that, or if their parents were homeless, or if their parents, were incarcerated, or whatever the case may be, they never had anyone really to teach them how, hey, this is a bill, you got to pay it. You got to pay it every month.
Yes.
This is what they never had a bank account or whatever. So that's amazing that you guys can do that.
Yeah, so we have some community partners who are coming in and teaching those financial literacy classes. They're also teaching, I think I saw on their schedule the other day, they had like a handyman, handy woman class. So when you do get into your apartment, you know how to fix those little things that go wrong.
Right.
Because
that we all have to,
let's be honest. I live by myself, and I usually have to call
YouTube
somebody.
was my friend when I was single. YouTube, I would YouTube how to fix the toilet.
Yes. So teaching them those life skills that they can take with them when they leave Martha's Hope.
Oh wow. Okay, but to have somebody to talk to, I'm sure that's a big thing too, because I'm sure that I can't even wrap my head around it. I couldn't even imagine being homeless, and I'm just going to say this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that any of us could be just a step away
Absolutely.
Of being homeless ourselves. You think about, where we live in tornado country here. If your tornado blew your house away, or if you didn't have insurance on your home, or you were on disability and you only got so much money, or there's so many factors that, or you weren't able to work or whatever, and you didn't have family, or that, like, what would you do?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had some who have come in they've been house fire victims. Your house burns in the middle of the night. Where do you go? Where do you turn at that moment? So they can come to Martha's Hope and stay in the emergency shelter until they can get back up on their feet and figure out what their next steps are.
And that's wonderful that we have that in our communities. And Martha is called the Martha Vandervoort Center, right?
Yes. So it's the Martha Vandervoort Center to End Homelessness.
Okay.
Is the overall name. Martha's Hope is the emergency shelter portion.
Okay.
And then once we get the second floor finished, it will be the Holloway House, which is named after Miss Maudine Holloway, who runs Community Enabler.
Okay, I know all those names very well. Miss Vandervoort, it was Dr. Vandervoort's sweet wife. I remember that. So.
Yes, she was the director of Interfaith Ministries.
Yes, for years.
Yes, and she worked very closely with that homeless population. Right. And so I love that we were able to name that after her and, provide her legacy to keep going, because I really think that, she would still be doing this work if she were here.
And whose idea was that? Like, who came up with, hey, let's name it after her?
We sat around a table at United Way and we're like, okay, what are we going to call this? And we all just kept going back to her and her legacy. Because I can remember when I first started at United Way 11 years ago, she would, talk about going and finding, if it was a cold night, she would hop in her car and she knew where those homeless encampments were, and she would go find those people and say, all right, get in my car, we're going somewhere because you're not staying out here tonight.
Oh, wow. And that takes a big person to do that too. But and people don't realize, how the impact of it all.
Right.
How it impacts people. It's so sad. And it's so easy to turn a blind eye and say, well, I'm not going to help you or whatever,
Yeah.
you know.
One story that always comes to my mind when we talk about our homeless clients is we have one who we've worked with her for quite some time. She's staying at Martha's Hope right now, but I ran into her the other day outside of Martha's Hope. I had gone over there for something, and I stopped and gave her a hug, and she's always like, thanks for recognizing me. And just, you know, oftentimes, like you said, they get missed, and they just need somebody to pay attention to them, listen to what they have to say, and just recognize them as a person.
Right. And you know, I know that sometimes that those lines can be kind of blurry too, because we don't want our viewers to hop in the car and go to these, you know, to encampments, because I mean there are risks.
There are.
Because you just, you know, unfortunately you just don't know someone's state of mental health at that time, or you don't know if someone has been using substances or abusing them or whatever. So we don't want you guys to go out there with us. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying that at all. But that is wonderful, though, that you guys actually recognized her, and I'm sure her family they were just elated.
Oh, yes,
I'm
yes.
sure. Yeah, so you guys had the ribbon cutting and the...
We haven't done a ribbon cutting yet for the new building.
Oh.
We're waiting on some of the construction to get done downstairs. So we're going to talk about that later, and some stuff that we're doing on this afternoon, well actually all day today, over at Martha's Hope. So hopefully once that's done, we can have that ribbon cutting.
Oh, wow. So have you been working with the Martha's Hope to end homelessness, this whole project since the very beginning?
Yes.
So, oh wow, so this is like your little baby.
It's not my baby, but I do work very closely with him. Yes. So Kyle Bryan is our program director over Martha's Hope. So Martha's Hope is one of our 9 initiatives that we have at United Way. So yeah, Kyle is our program director, and he does a fantastic job running Martha's Hope, and he's built an incredible staff, and he really cares for those clients.
And you know, the Anniston area, the Calhoun County area, has needed this for a long time, a very, very long time, and we're going to get into some more of that, some more, I guess, into all that when we come back. So with that being said, we're going to go to our sponsors. We're going to take a small break for a word from our sponsors. You are watching WEAC TV 24 Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
I'm Alan Parnell with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Hey guys, this is Blair Smith at Pediatrics Plus here in Anniston, located on Henry Road. I'm over here on the well side, but we do also have a sick side urgent care if you need us. We are more than happy to see you guys. Just come on, check us out if you get a fever, cough, or cold, or want to come in for a good checkup. Thank you.
Backus Bibles and Books is dedicated to providing churches as well as individuals with products and services geared towards strengthening every relationship with Christ. We specialize in Bibles, Bible imprints, Bible restoration, church supplies, home decor, gifts, and apparel. Call us at 256-201-1202 or visit us Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 1100 Highway Drive in Oxford, Alabama. We look forward to serving you, equipping the people of God to expand the kingdom of God.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching WEAC TV 24, Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program, and today we are speaking with Jessica from the United Way. Thank you for being here.
Thank
we're
you for
talking about
having
the
me.
homeless issues in our area, and we're talking about Martha's Hope, which is a wonderful thing, very needed in our community. And you were talking about phase 2 of Martha's Hope opening up, and I don't. That's the upstairs, correct? Because the downstairs, you said, is like temporary,
Emergency,
like
yeah.
just emergency housing,
Yes.
right? So the top part is going to be more of your, well, not permanent, you can't stay there forever, but more of your, and it's going to be more like an apartment style?
Yeah. So right now, the bottom floor, the transitional living, like I said, it's more, I mean, not the transitional, the emergency living is more of your true, when you think of a shelter.
Like cots.
You walk into a large room, there's beds laid out, you're assigned a bed. It's in one large room, you know,
Right.
where when they move into that transitional living, that's going to be their next step before they may get out on their own, transition out on their own. So it is going to be more apartment style living. Now it's going to be a small apartment,
Right.
but
it would actually, like you said, we were talking about life skills, people that do not have life
Yes.
skills, that do not know how to live on their own. I mean, I'm telling you guys, we take so much for granted. Having that apartment style living will prepare them a little bit
Correct.
for being on their own and saying, okay, I've got to wash dishes, I got to make my bed, I got to do this, I got to, to have some kind of structure
Yes.
to their life.
Yes, and they'll have somewhere to store their belongings. Right now, when they're in the emergency shelter, they have lockers that they get assigned to them. So it's really what you can fit in that locker is what you get to keep
Right.
or hold on to. And so once they move upstairs, I think they'll have a dresser that they can put some stuff in. Again, like you said, just a little privacy. Because like I said earlier, oftentimes a lot of our clients are working. And
Give
they
a little
just,
taste too of how it is to have a place.
Yes, yes. But they get that extra privacy for sleeping,
Right.
or if they're working at night and need to sleep
Right,
during
they're
the
working
day,
a
they
strange
have that.
shift.
Yes, absolutely.
Have a little bit more quiet time.
Yes, yes. And it's a little bit of an incentive for them to work with an empowerment coach and try to get to that next step.
Right.
Because they know they can get to that apartment style living.
Oh yeah, it gives them some
If
incentive.
they're working with
Gives
that.
them some incentive,
For
right?
sure.
So it's named after Martha Vandervoort. So that's the
Yes.
director. She was the director of Interfaith Ministries for a long time. So the whole thing, and then the transitional living facility is going to be called the Holloway House
Yes.
after Maudine Holloway, who was the director of the community enablement.
Yes.
Correct? Is that what I got? Okay, and we were talking about how, we were talking about different, I guess, the demographics of those that are homeless in our area. Well, first of all, you don't just serve Calhoun County.
We
I mean, you have your homeless friends from all over.
Yeah, we serve our region.
The region. Okay.
So, oftentimes when we say that, people get a little scared because they think that other communities are bringing buses of homeless
No.
people into our community, and that is not at all what it looks like. What that looks like is if you have a homeless client in Cherokee County who calls 211 and says, hey, I'm homeless, I don't have anywhere to live.
And it's very rural there.
Yes, yes. 211 can say, okay, the only homeless shelter in your region is going to be Martha's Hope in Anniston. Can you get there?
Right.
And then they can, tell them where that is, tell them how they can get there, and then it's going to be left up to them to find somebody to get them there or work with somebody
So
in
you
their
guys
community.
don't just go and get them and bring them, so they have to find their way.
Yes, they have to find their way
there,
here.
which makes sense. But I can see like Cleveland County,
Right.
because these are counties I serve too.
Right.
So Cleveland County, Cherokee County, beautiful counties, but very, very rural.
Yes, yes.
So resources are very limited there. So I can see why there would be people from other areas there. And we were talking at the break too, on break, about how it's not just the 20-year-olds or the 30-year-olds that most people think that are homeless.
Right.
You have actual people all the way from What age to what age?
Yeah, so since we opened in February, we actually have served, well, let me say two. We serve families and individuals. So we had a family who was staying there that had a 4-year-old at the time who actually turned 5 while they were in the shelter. The shelter threw her a whole birthday party.
Oh, fun.
It was a whole thing, a whole celebration for her because everybody came to love her, you
Right.
know. So they have since moved on to some more permanent housing.
Oh, yay for them.
Yeah,
That's
but
awesome.
We have served that young of an age all the way up into about 85. We had a lady there who was 85, and we were able to get her to another placement who could better serve her and her medical needs and just her needs in general.
And like I said, I mean, I really believe that we're all just a stone's throw away
absolutely.
of being homeless ourselves. I mean, things happen in life that you can't control sometimes, and so I can see that. You know, the Alabama Cares program, we work with we work with caregivers that are taking care of their loved ones, but the Area Agency on Aging, we see a lot of our seniors, and so I can see that. And do you see many veterans coming your way? Because I know that there's lots of research on veterans and the homelessness with
Right.
the veterans and that.
So I don't work directly with our clients, so I don't see them as often as probably our staff over there does. I know we have had some veterans, but I also know that United Way of Central Alabama and Birmingham, they actually have a veteran-specific program. So they can actually help get veterans hotel vouchers and stuff like
Oh,
that.
that's wonderful.
Yeah, so
That's
when we
wonderful.
do see those veterans, we work with our community
Well, then
partners that we can help serve.
How? Because I know this is going to be a question because I know my head is spinning. I have a friend who works with a runaway shelter for teens. That's I think more in the middle Alabama area, like the Walker, Shelby County, that area, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but I think they're the only one in the area that serve them. But do you see teenagers? Do you see runaways? And how do you guys guide them?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think they have seen any teenagers yet. We actually have one of our other programs, Success Academy, that I am the program director of. We had a student there who had graduated that program, and he came back one day. He let us know that he was homeless, and we sent him to the shelter, but I don't think he ended up staying. I think that's the only one that has shown
and that's
up.
a good thing.
Yes,
we don't want that statistic
we
to be high.
reconnected him with his
Yes.
parents, and
That's wonderful.
we're able to get him
wonderful.
back where he needed to
So,
be.
speaking of that, because all kinds of things can happen, because I've been doing my job for almost 25 years, so we see all different kinds of scenarios as well. So when someone, is homeless and they call you guys, what are their requirements? Are there specific, well, you've got to meet this, and this before you can come here? I mean, how does that work?
So we are the region's only low barrier shelter.
What does that mean?
So we do not have barriers.
Do not have barriers, okay.
There is no, you have to be, I say ambulatory, we need you to be able to take care of yourself.
Right.
Not, oftentimes we have seen some clients who come in who they really can't take care of themselves.
They need to be like in a nursing
They
home
need some
or
sort of
some kind of
further
medical
assistance.
Right,
Yes.
I gotcha.
We don't have a nurse on staff. We don't
Right.
have the medical attention that they
I
may
gotcha,
need.
yeah.
But yeah, so as long as you can walk around and take care of yourself, then you are more than welcome to come.
So that's with anything that would be physical
Mm-hmm.
limitations as well as like dementia or that kind of thing, because
Yes.
once and guys, it's not you have to think about it from the perspective of the agency too, because I get it, because there's liability
Mm-hmm.
there. It's not that you don't want to help these people. We all want to help everybody, but sometimes the liability is there, and you
Right.
hate to say it, but sometimes that could be big issues.
Yeah.
So I get that. So
Well,
you would
especially when you have a large population like we
Yeah.
do, you want you want the client to be safe while they're with you.
Yeah, so-
Also, so yeah, if they come to us, and they have more needs than we can provide, oftentimes that is us reaching out to someone else who can better provide
Right, to hook
those
them up
needs.
with other services and give referrals. And
Right.
that's where partnerships.
Yes, absolutely.
And things like this is so
Yeah.
important just to get the word out. So if they need to talk, if somebody needs to talk to someone, who do they call?
They can call our United Way office at 256-236-8229. There's an option there to push for Martha's Hope, and you can push that button and it will get you to somebody at Martha's Hope.
Okay, yeah, we definitely need to make sure that you remember that number. Say it one more time.
It's 256-236-8229.
8229. Yes, and we have your graphic too that will show. There it is.
Yes, you can call that number on there, and like I said, push the option. Actually, that's my cell phone number. But if you call that number, I'll direct you to the right number to Martha's Hope as well.
Right. And we appreciate all that you guys do too. That's hard. I know it is, because you send out teams to find these people that are unhoused. So how does that work?
So yeah, for the point in time count, it's actually one of my favorite days. I love that
Because it's
day.
in January. Remember,
Yes.
I said that at the beginning of the show. We were
It's
talking
in
about
January.
the statistics.
It is a HUD sets that date and tells us when we're going to do that. So we work with JSU's social work department, and they send students to help us go out and do that. So we partner with them, and like I said, we break up into groups, probably 3 or 4 people at a time, and we just go out and see where we find those homeless residents. Oftentimes we know where those encampments may be,
Right.
so we know where to look. We go to Interfaith Ministries, start counting there.
Right.
And when I say count, it's more of a conversation.
Right.
It's we stop, we have a conversation, we ask the person's name, we get their age, and then we ask them where they slept last night.
Right.
So that tells us, were they in a shelter, were they couch surfing, or were they unhoused?
Right, and a lot of people don't realize, and just with our program too, with the area agencies on aging all across the United States, so this is very important. Census is very important, people, because like our programs, it goes by the population of seniors in our area. So that's why we always, every time there's a census, we'll fill out the census,
Yeah.
because that's how we get our funding,
Right.
federal and state. So the same with you guys.
That helps a lot when we ask for those federal funding
Right.
dollars, is when we can tell how many, hey, this is how many we counted in our area, for that money to come back to our region.
Right. Wow, there's a lot to it, and guys, I know this is like a deep subject again that nobody
It is.
really wants to
At
talk
7:30
about.
in the morning.
But I mean, it's just one of those things that we really do have to have that conversation, because guys, these people are living with us. They're they're humans just like we are, and we're going to talk more about that. We're going to go take another small break for a word from our sponsors. You are watching WEAC TV 24's Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller, and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
Hey, this is Jason at Reeves Insurance. Just want to say a quick thank you to all of our customers for your support over the years. We now have offices in Anniston, Alexandria, and Oxford in order to serve you better. So stop in and see me or any of our experienced staff and let us shop for you. We'll find you the best price and the best coverage available. Thank you.
The Civilian Marksmanship Program, also known as CMP, is a national organization dedicated to training and educating U.S. citizens in responsible uses of firearms and air guns through gun safety training, marksmanship training, and competitions. Their vision is to lead the nation in marksmanship excellence, providing safe, high-quality, and innovative programs with a focus on youth. For more information about the CMP and upcoming events, visit thecmp.org.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching WEAC TV 24 Rise and Shine with Alabama Cares Program. I'm Ellen Hurst, and I have Miss Jessica Smith with me today from the United Way, and we're talking about Martha's Hope. There's a lot we've been talking about,
Yes.
haven't we? So we've been talking about different populations of those people that may not have permanent housing, like you said. One other thing that I know that maybe comes up sometimes that you guys see too is how does it affect, I guess, you guys, and what kind of partnerships or collaborations do you have with maybe domestic violence shelters? Because I'm sure, you know, I mean, there's a lot of domestic violent shelters that they see all different ages.
Right.
Mostly women, because men, unfortunately, do not want to report that.
Yeah.
Because of the stigma sometimes that they say. Statistics show that. But what do you guys do with that, and do you see that?
So yeah, if we have a client that comes in who is a domestic violent victim, we will refer them to Second Chance, just because they have the counseling and they have they are used to those cases. So we don't want to reinvent the wheel. You know, it's already there. Let's partner with them and see what we can do to get that client the most help that they can get.
But can they still stay at Martha's Hope, or do they?
They typically will go stay at Second Chance if they have room available. Just because, again, they're
I didn't know if it, because I worked at Second Chance years and years ago. I was a children's director and the court advocate there. But I know that sometimes when it's full,
Yeah.
that was a problem that we experienced when I worked there, because there was no homeless shelters here. There was I'd say the Salvation Army at that time, but
Right.
it was mainly men,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So it was very hard for children and for women, you know, that, you know, where do we place them? And then we'd have to call another shelter, like in a whole different area, and it was
Yeah.
just this big mess. You know, it was hard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we definitely have the availability, if we have the availability at the time, to keep them with us and allow them to utilize the services at Second Chance. I know we've actually utilized their counselor several times for some of our trafficking victims. Who may, you know, need a place to stay, and if they've stayed at the shelter, we can connect them with the services at Second Chance as well.
right, because I mean, there's just, you know, partnerships are so
Oh,
important.
they are, absolutely. We couldn't do what we do without partnerships.
Oh, right. I mean, same with us. I mean, you know, it's so wonderful how our community all comes together, and we're very blessed. We
are.
We have a wonderful community in this area
We
in
do.
Central Alabama, I believe.
Yes, we do. We
I'm
absolutely
a little partial,
do.
but I believe that. But so we were talking about the funding, and the one day a year that you go out in January, and you partner with Jack State and the social work department and so forth to get these numbers. But you talked also about it allows community members to be involved. So how does that?
Yeah, so
How's
they can
that
come
work?
volunteer. Yeah, they can come volunteer just like anybody else on that day. You can show up when we'll share the information on our Facebook page. But yeah, you can show up at Martha's Hope, and we will assign you to a group and go out and just have those conversations. We also carry bags, goodie bags to our clients.
Like with toiletries and
Yeah,
that
when
kind
we
of
get
thing.
snacks, stuff like that, when we go and have that conversation with them, just to kind of give them something so they don't feel like they're just a number, because we
Right.
never want our clients to feel like that.
Right.
Like I said earlier, they just want to feel like they're a person too. And we try to explain to them, we're just here to get information. Here's how we help, you know, fund where you get to stay at night sometimes. And so when you explain it to them like that, they're very free to give you the information.
And does the police community work very closely with you guys as well? Because I know that they get calls they have to.
Yeah.
They get calls all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah. So if they come across a homeless resident or a homeless client that is needing assistance, and they just didn't know where to turn,
Right.
they can actually bring them to Martha's Hope. We've had some that have transported them to there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we've had to call the police a couple of times for incidences, and they come, they show up.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
It's going to happen everywhere. But we also, the Anniston Police Department is fantastic about, we take our laundry to them. So the sheets that go on the cots right now, blankets, towels, goes to the police department, and they wash that in bulk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a huge help.
Yeah, right. The men in blue. That's awesome.
For sure.
But they're giving back too.
They are.
That's awesome, because I know that, you know, if you live in an area, especially if you live in our area, and you and I were talking about that a little bit earlier, about if you live in specific areas, you kind of get to, you don't know per se that person, but you know faces. And so you know, well, oh, that's the little so-and-so person, that's, you know, they're, you know.
Yeah.
And I think churches also are a big, I'm sure that they refer a
absolutely.
lot of people, because I know that several churches that I've been to visiting, like doing speakings and things, like they have like little, I guess, tubs outside where they have snacks and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember this one place I went to speak at several times, and I seen the same people that kept coming back for that. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that the churches are a big referral system for you
Not
guys.
only are they a referral system, they are a huge help. So we feed our clients dinner every night and breakfast in the mornings, and we have volunteer groups who come in to do that every night. So our churches are a huge help in that area. Not only our churches, we have other community organizations, but we have more than, I think, 16 churches that are already on a rotation of coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they just have like their, the cooks of the church that come in. Do they just bring the food there, or do they cook there?
So we have all sorts of options. We have a pantry there where somebody could come in, kind of shop in the pantry, cook there if they want to. That works. You can cook at home, bring food in, or, you know, go grab something catered and bring that in
bring
as well.
pizzas
Yeah,
or whatever.
anything like that.
Wow.
We have many options for that.
Wow. So that's amazing. And I know that, you know, this was stunning to me. Research has proven that high rental rates, get this guys, high rental rates increases the homelessness rate. But what are other factors? What do you see mostly in your area? I mean, besides the high rent rate, I mean, we know statistics show that, but what are some of the other factors that factor into homelessness?
So I would think, like you said, not only the high rental rates, but sometimes our homeless friends come to us with, they may have may have been incarcerated. Sometimes that causes problems when you try to rent somewhere.
Right, because they do a background check.
They do a background check. Credit scores.
Credit scores. And if they've been incarcerated for a long time, they don't have credit.
Right.
Because they just got out, or
yeah, or if they were evicted somewhere at one point, that causes, you know, some issues.
Or if they've never had a bank account or never had a credit card,
it's just a plethora of things.
Yes.
But we also see, you know, substance misuse can be an issue, or just some mental health, some mental illness can cause some barriers there.
Right, that's so sad. And you know, last month was National Mental Health Awareness Month, and I actually had Teresa come on. She's a licensed counselor. I work with her too, but she and I were talking about it and the whole stigma of it and that kind of thing. To, you know, everything intertwines, guys. I mean, everything that we talk about on this show, it just all fits in a little puzzle together, because we were talking about how those conversations need to be started, that it should be normal to talk about it. Like, you want to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you talk about it, that's when you can get something done.
Yes.
It's when you try to bury it in the sand, like it's not there, it just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and it doesn't, nothing ever gets done about it. So
we actually have, talking about mental health, we have a program inside Martha's Hope that's called Thrive. and it is a mental health initiative that we work
Okay.
with Interfaith Ministries, St. Michael's Medical Clinic, and Martha's Hope, because we see a lot of the same clients within those
Right,
three
right,
organizations. And so Interfaith Ministries and St. Michael's is able to refer clients to Thrive. We have a licensed social worker who can meet with them, walk them through, anything they may be dealing with. And then if they need mental health meds that they may have already had, we can refer them back over to St. Michael's so that they can help get them their
And
prescription.
so we've even had Nanette on the show.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I said, this all fits together like a little puzzle.
it does.
If you guys missed any of these shows, you can always go on YouTube. You can go on WEAC TV 24's Facebook page. If you have the app on your Roku, Apple, Fire Stick, whatever, you can always go back and watch those shows, because this is really good information. And that's why we try to do this show every Friday, is just to get all this information out to everyone and tell them how important it is to talk about it. But if you don't talk about it, you can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
So, so you said that you've seen, you see those different types of factors. So, with that being said, if there's somebody out there that says, "Hey, you know what? We do have a homeless problem. How can I help?" What are some things? We'll talk about. I know you got events coming up. We'll talk about that in the next segment. But what are some of the things that our community can do to help, besides volunteer for that day in January, or what we're going to talk about later? But what are some things that they could do?
Yeah. So the biggest thing is probably, always giving monetarily,
Right.
because it takes a lot to make that shelter run.
Right.
So that's a big need always. But coming down and volunteering at the shelter. We have opportunities for helping fold laundry.
So if you
every
guys
day.
have youth groups,
Yes, absolutely.
kids in college that need hours
Yes.
for volunteering, this is your chance right
Yes.
here. Yes.
If you want to come teach a class, if you have a life skill that you think is
Oh, that would be
something
wonderful.
that our clients could use, they would love. One day they did yoga.
Oh, fun.
They do all sorts of stuff just to keep them engaged and keep them, learning different things that we all do as well. So yeah, if you have a life skill you want to come teach to them, you're more than welcome to come fold laundry, come feed a meal, or just come hang out and talk to the clients. They just play
Right.
games with them at night.
Play board games
Yeah.
or something, cards or something. And do you guys have a pantry or anything that people can donate to that, or I guess personal care?
Yeah, so we keep that on
items?
stock on site. We also have, like I was talking about the food pantry earlier, if you want to come in and cook for the clients there, we keep that stocked with stuff also.
Okay, wow. So there's lots of ways, and I know, it's good that you said that, because now I can tell people that, because I have so many people come and talk to us all the time about, well, I need volunteer hours. Where we have some volunteer hours, you would have more. So
Right.
we can direct them to you and say, well, you need to talk to Jessica. So yeah. All righty, so we are going to take another break. You have another break, guys. And this is WEAC TV 24 Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program. We'll be right back.
On average, a tow truck operator is killed every 6 days in the United States. A tragic, yet preventable event. The fact is, most people don't know what it's like being a tow truck operator. The dangers that occur while servicing a roadside vehicle are real. However, you can make a difference to help lower this statistic and save lives by simply slowing down and moving over. This simple task can prevent an unnecessary death and allow workers to make it home to the families waiting for them. After all, it's the law in all 50 states, for good reason. Do your part so they can live another day and be there for you when you need them. Move over. Their lives don't belong to you.
Backus Bibles and Books is dedicated to providing churches as well as individuals with products and services geared towards strengthening every relationship with Christ. We specialize in Bibles, Bible imprints, Bible restoration, church supplies, home decor, gifts, and apparel. Call us at 256-201-1202 or visit us Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 1100 Highway Drive in Oxford, Alabama. We look forward to serving you, equipping the people of God to expand the kingdom of God.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program. I'm Ellen Hurst, and this is our last segment for today on Friday the 13th. But remember what I said, Friday the 13th. It's not a bad thing. Where my mom's from in the Netherlands, 13 is a lucky number. So there you go. So it's Friday, so you know you've been here before. We got to do our Friday dance. It's Friday.
Okay.
Woo, it's Friday. So, thank goodness it's Friday, right?
Yes.
It's been a long week.
It has been a long week. It's been a busy week.
Yes, it's been very busy. So you are ending a month-long campaign, and it's going to come to a head, I guess, on June 13th with what you call Day of Kindness. Mm-hmm. And on the Day of Kindness, what's going on? Tell everybody what's going on.
It's still early. You still have time to join us and be part of Day of Kindness. So right now, over at Martha's Hope, they are gearing up for Day of Kindness. So today,
it's today.
It's today.
It's today.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is today. Okay.
Yes. So they're going to be painting some areas of the shelter, putting 54 shelter beds together. So.
Oh wow.
The clients will go from sleeping on cots to sleeping on actual beds. So we're really excited about that. And they're going to be, all those bushes you see in that picture have been pulled up, and they're going to be putting down rocks to make it look a little nicer and get rid of some of those bushes out there.
A little more bougie out there.
So we're very excited about that. Yeah, so it's from 9 to 2 today. You can drop by any time between those hours and volunteer. If you have an hour to volunteer, 2 hours. If you want to join us at 9 o'clock and leave at 2 o'clock, that would be fantastic too.
Well, it's a good thing we did this morning.
Yes.
Then, right? I mean, that sounds great. So,
absolutely.
And there's something else going on. There's a shrimp boil.
Yes. So tonight,
who doesn't love shrimp?
Exactly. Right? So tonight at 6 o'clock at the Sinclair Social, we are hosting a shrimp bowl, a Low Country bowl benefiting Martha's Hope. It's $30 a plate, and that will get you the shrimp, the corn, the potatoes, the sausage.
Gets you everything.
All of those, a cup of butter to go with it.
Oh, butter. Everything's better with butter.
Yes, all of those things. You can actually add an additional $10 to feed a guest at Martha's Hope. So we're going to feed them tonight also. The same thing that we're having at the Low Country Bowl.
Ooh, so look at a good meal.
Yeah, we're really excited that the Sinclair Social has opened up to us this evening, so we can have a great evening. The street will actually be closed off right there. So bring your kids, come have fun. There'll be live music.
Live music, entertainment too. That's always fun.
It is. And Fancy, the bartender at Sinclair Social, has made us a signature drink. So if you need a nice summery frozen drink, I think there's peach and watermelon margaritas.
Ooh, peach and watermelon.
Yes.
That sounds fabulous.
So come grab a plate of shrimp. You can order it online. If you scan that QR code, you can go ahead and pre-purchase your ticket for tonight, or you can just show up. We should have some extras. And for you who have kids And for those who don't like shrimp, I know,
Or allergic.
I know there's a few out there. There will be a pizza truck there. I think it's the Classic Melt.
Oh, yeah.
Will be there as well. So you can purchase food from them.
Awesome.
And they're going to donate back a portion of their sales to Martha's Hope tonight also.
Well, that's fun. Well, today's all fun, like all filled with fun things.
Yes, we're so excited about
raise money
today.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a good thing you came this morning. then.
Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome. So Martha's Hope, you said it's the region's only low barrier homeless shelter, and it's 60% grant funded.
Yes.
And 40% donor funded. So
Correct.
that's why you guys need to go to all these things today and give back.
Yes.
Because it helps with that 40%.
It does.
Correct?
Yes. And so part of that right now, we also have a dollar for dollar match going on. So we have some generous donors who have donated $50,000. And so for up to $50,000, your dollar is doubled. So if you give $100 today, that's going to be $200 towards this
wow.
campaign.
Just because there's somebody
Just
out there.
because we have somebody who's willing to match it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So if you can't make it to the Shrimp Bowl tonight, but yet you still want to donate to Martha's Hope, you can do that by scanning that QR code, or you can visit our website, which is www.uweca.org, and you will see the banner at the top on where you can donate directly to Martha's Hope.
Oh, wow. That's
And we
awesome.
actually are $4,000 away from our goal.
$4,000.
$4,000. So come on, guys. Y'all can help. Y'all can help us out.
And especially since you got somebody that's there to match
Yes,
it. I
yes.
mean, you would hope that.
So $4,000 would put us at that $100,000. So your two 50s together.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes.
fantastic. So, and it's such a good cause too, because I mean, like you said, I mean, it's just right here in our community. You know, we got to help our community because we want to be the
Absolutely.
best community in Alabama, and we want to be the best community in the United States. Right?
Absolutely.
So let's show out and make sure that you get all that information. And if you missed it, we'll show it again before we leave. But always make sure that you go back. You can always watch it back on our Facebook page today, or you can go to YouTube or whatever and go watch it.
Yeah, and all this information is on our United Way Facebook page as well.
I am so glad that you came today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And we'll talk a little bit before we leave too about the events again to just remind them. And I want to remind you guys that we have other great guests scheduled for the future Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cures program. Next week we will have Bill Curtis from the Alzheimer's Association, and he's going to come speak to us about all the latest research and how to keep your brain healthy.
Oh, awesome.
He's from the Alzheimer's Association. And we also have next week on Tuesday as well is going to be our community health series, which every month is a different subject. This month we actually have a brain awareness month, Alzheimer's awareness month, and it's also World Blood Donor Month. So we are going to have the bus there to donate blood. So if you want to donate blood, you can come by there. We have free door prizes. We have people there, all of our vendors there giving away great gifts and little giveaways and all that kind of stuff. Our door prizes are fabulous. So, but what better place to go than the Community Health Series? You don't have to make an appointment, guys. You don't have to have a consulting fee to go see, you know, like, because we have lawyers, doctors, we have all different kinds of speakers every month. And Bill is there. He is full of information. He's going to speak about the latest research and how to keep your brain healthy. But we're also going to have him on the show for next week as well, and he's going to be talking about the same thing. And then the 27th, we have, we have Chris Proper from the County Snake Removal coming to educate us about snakes, since it is warmer weather. So he's going to tell us all about the good snakes versus the bad snakes, what to do, what not to do, because I know everybody's out there going swimming, you're working in your gardens, you know, going to the lakes and the creeks and all that kind of stuff. So it's we live in Alabama. We got to know about this.
Absolutely.
I mean, another thing we don't want to talk about, but we got to talk about it. So, and then later on, we have all different kinds of good speakers coming up. We have Keith Parrott, who is the RMC's new president.
Yes.
He's going to be coming and speaking about what his vision is of RMC and how he hopes that that the change for the better kind of thing for our community. So we're going to have so many good speakers coming up. They're just all lined up. We got somebody coming from the UCP for Lifespan Respite coming to talk. So so don't forget to tune in to us every Friday here at 7:30 in the morning. I know it's early, so if you can't watch us right at 7:30, you still can go back and play us. So, and again, we want to make sure that we put the graphics back up for you for your event. Tell them about your event again.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still time. There's still time to join us today. Over at Martha's Hope, we have our 2025 Day of Kindness, where we are putting together shelter beds for our clients there, beautifying the campus outside, putting down rock, painting the inside. They're projects for kids as well. It's not just adults. So I know your kids are at home for school or at home for summer from school. So feel free to, bring them.
So what can the kids do?
They're going to paint.
They're going to paint?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, Lord. Then they'll say, well, you painted at Martha's Hope. You could paint at home, too. This might be good for you parents out there. I don't know.
So, yeah, if you have kids and want to bring them, that is totally fine, too. It gives them an opportunity, to learn about our homeless clients.
Yes, and kids, they love to feel wanted and needed. And, I mean, that's a good way to have them give back.
Yeah, and a lot of our clients have signed up to help for that day as well. So,
really?
Yeah, they want to help beautify the place that they're staying.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so you can work alongside some of them and get to know them. So yeah, we're really excited about that. And
Make new friends.
Yes, absolutely. And then tonight at 6 o'clock, join us at the Sinclair Social for Boil for a Cause is what we have called this. And like I said, you can grab a plate of a Low Country boil, shrimp, corn, potatoes, sausage, all the things, and that's given back to Martha's Hope. We have live music, some signature drinks, and we have tents in case it rains tonight. Hopefully it's not going to, but
let's hope it's not
just
going
in
to.
case there's some tents.
Peach and watermelon margaritas.
Peach and watermelon margaritas. Frozen ones. So make sure you come join us.
And a pizza truck.
Yes, and the classic melt will be there just in case you don't eat shrimp or you have an allergy or your kids don't eat shrimp. They can grab a pizza from the classic melt.
Oh, okay. That's also all kinds of great information. So, yeah, and then here's more about the double.
And this is your last chance to double your impact. Like I said earlier, we have this dollar for dollar match. So everything that you give will actually be doubled today. We're going to end this campaign this evening, and we are only $4,000 away from hitting our goal of $50,000.
And then if you give up to $50,000, even if it's $50.
Oh, absolutely.
If it's $20, it'll turn to $40. $50 will turn into $100. $100 will turn into $200.
Any amount helps.
So it's matched.
Yes.
So, I mean, you'll meet your goal.
I hope so. We're almost there.
I have faith.
We can do it.
You can do this.
We have a great, like you said earlier, we have a great community.
We have a great community. And how fantastic is it that you can get the kids to be involved in paint?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Today. That'd be fun.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, it will be.
But like I said, hey, parents, it might be a good opportunity to say, hey, you remember when you painted at Martha's Hope? Yes. Today we're having a project at our house.
We're having a paint project here.
Yeah, so never know.
Yes.
And teach them a skill too.
Exactly.
But I think it also teaches kids empathy.
Absolutely.
And it teaches kids that not everything is given to you. Not even a house, a bed.
Yeah.
Somewhere to live, somewhere to stay, electricity, all those things that we all take for granted.
Yeah,
absolutely. So what a great way to teach your children during the summer months and teach them a life lesson. I mean, that school books can't teach.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
giving back is one of the most important things you can teach a child.
Oh, yes. I think so, too. And, when I go out in communities and I teach the Alzheimer's and dementia education, and we do, I've gone to Boys and Girls Clubs. I go to different, elementary schools and that kind of thing. And when talk to them about someone that has dementia, and maybe things that are going on with their grandma and grandpa or somebody in church or whatever, and they start realizing that it's the brain and it's not that person, they have a whole new view of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's amazing how their light bulb's going. And they're smarter than you give them credit for.
Absolutely.
I promise you that. So thank you so much for being on the show
Well, thank you for
again
having
today.
me. Yeah.
You'll have to come back again sometime.
Absolutely.
Talk about something else
I would love
fabulous
to.
that you're doing at United Way.
I would
over
love
there.
to come back.
Yes, you're doing such great things.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm honored that I know you. That's awesome that you're giving back. I love that. And like I said, don't forget our event, which is Tuesday, is the Community Health Series event. It'll be from 10 to 12 at the Oxford Civic Center. It's a free event. Make sure that you share that with everybody. It's 10 to 12 vendors and door prizes and great speakers and all the things. So make sure that you do that. And we've got good speakers coming up as well later on. Next week we will have Bill Curtis, so don't forget to tune in with me on EAC TV 24 right here with the Rise and Shine program with the Alabama Cares program, and we hope to see you next week, and we hope that you have a most wonderful weekend, and don't forget to go tonight to
Sinclair
Social and go to Martha's Hope.
Yes,
today
there's still
and
time to come
volunteer.
join us.
Yes, so we'll see you guys next time. Talk to you later and have a great weekend. Bye.